What is up, you guys? It's Jungle Poppy. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. It is a beautiful sunny January day, and I was just here in my plant nook just watering some plants, and I'm going to be talking about this Philodendron billietiae, this super duper tall plant that's a little too tall to manage right now. And yeah, I'm going to be giving it the chop. I've been air layering a couple nodes for a couple months now, so it's definitely time to do so, just because it is just full of roots and it is time to just cut it down in size. So hopefully by spring I will have a couple plants to sell, to grow for myself, to trade, to do whatever with, but hopefully the main plant will actually grow out some side shoots that is a little bit more manageable in size. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy and stay tuned. All right, so I'll put you guys down right there, and I'm gonna take this super tall plant down, and hopefully I don't knock anything down, but yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm super obsessed with Smiskies. I don't know if you guys have seen these, but they are just adorable, and I love just scattering them around the apartment. It's just so cute. Look at them. Okay. I just set this down on the coffee table. I think it's the most manageable place to work on it. But as you can see, it's super tall. It's definitely in its vining phase, and I didn't expect it to be such a vining plant. I always saw these plants developing as more of a rosette form. So yeah, I think cutting it down will make it way more easier to manage. But you can kind of see where, I started to air layer it. And the way I did that is I just used sphagnum moss and saran wrap and just wrapped it around, kept the moss moist, and let the roots develop. TBH, it actually has been a little bit more on the drier side just because the heater has been on, given that it's January, it's winter. So yeah, here is another view. And like I said, it's just sphagnum moss wrapped with saran wrap, and I did use tape to kind of secure it. But I just tried to keep the moss moist as much as possible. And you can see a lot of the roots are already starting to poke out, really take over the moss. So it's time to give it the chop. And when I first did this one, it was actually just a node that was or the growth tip poking out. And since then, it's put out a couple leaves. So it's definitely time to chop it up and propagate. All right, so here is another angle for y'all and for my historic records of my plants. But wow, it has just grown into a Christmas tree of a philodendron. But one thing you can notice is the leaf size definitely decreased as it started to get into its vining form. And it could be in part to the colder weather, lower light levels, as well as just the air conditioning or the heater that has been on because it's winter. But definitely want to bring back the larger leaves that it's known for. Its pendant leaves that are so bold, so beautiful, and hopefully this will promote that. So I got my box cutter right here, and I'm just gonna chop it up. Okay, so I got my box cutter and I am gonna chop it right there. Ooh, it's crispy. Actually, let me put you guys down and I will do this with 2 hands so I don't cut myself. Cutting number 1. Look at all these roots. And I am gonna let it dry out a little bit so that it calluses over and prevents rot. But man, it is so sticky. Like, look at all that dew or sap. But yeah, I'll let this callus over and dry out while I cut the other one. So I don't really know what to do. I'm debating if I should just redo the process and start air layering the other nodes there because it's still too tall. But my knees. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna air layer it again, and now I gotta set up some moss and do all that. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely take out this tall stake because it's just an eyesore and I don't really need it for its support anymore. So just taking off these Velcro zip ties. And I am going to, there is a smaller stake here and I'm just gonna put it where the old stake was and just reattach it, resecure it with the zip ties. Actually, I think it's fine. I'll see how the new shoot develops, but yeah, I think this is a pretty manageable size for now. Looks pretty cool. It still has all of its old leaves, the bigger ones, the more mature form that I like. So yeah, I think it's good. I'm gonna give it a water, and now I gotta decide what to do with the cuttings. One second. What we're left with is this nice, manageable mother plant, bottom cut, whatever you want to call it, as well as 2 cuttings, a leaf cutting, node cutting, and a top cutting. And both of these cuttings here have a sufficient root system, so I'm just going to let them dry out. I'm not going to rush to pot them up, but I am going to moisten the moss that they're in. That way they get their water that they need, especially given that they have cuts in them and I don't want them to lose too much moisture. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and I'm excited to see how this mother plant grows. But see you guys next time. Peace.